What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Mock Draft Guy YouTube channel. Today, we are rolling right along with our 7-round 2023 team mock drafts, and we have hit the Dallas Cowboys. I said it before I believe in the last team mock draft video, I said that I'm going a little bit out of order lately. I'm just kind of doing teams that I really want to do that I think are hot in the news right now. And I mean, there's just one team that is always in the news regardless of what they're doing, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. So I figured I would get the Dallas Cowboys out of the way right now. Before we get into the video itself, I just want to thank you guys so much. This past weekend, I hit 5,000 subscribers, a really awesome milestone for me, and I couldn't have done it without you guys and all your continued support, your sharing, likes, comments, negative, positive, whatever it may be. I love it. You guys mean so much to me, and thank you guys so much, and let's continue this ride. Let's get to 10K before 2024. I don't think that that's really feasible right now, but you never know. I didn't even think I'd ever get to 5K, so 10K seems pretty cool to me. But the Dallas Cowboys are an interesting case in this mock draft. And as you guys know, I do my research weeks on out, and I run constant simulators looking at different scenarios. Believe me, I've thought of every different scenario possible for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm recording this a lot later than I usually do because I still wasn't really satisfied with the results that I was getting. Or, I try and do the results as maybe as real as possible to, I think, what's going to happen on draft night or during the draft itself. So, some of them are really cool. Like, I'll let you know, one that I got was the first two picks were, let's see, I have it right here. The first two picks were Kalijah Kancey and Trenton Simpson. I was like, wow, that's amazing. But I don't think that that's going to happen on draft night. So I've run this a bunch of different ways. The Dallas Cowboys are always an interesting case. I feel like they love linebackers. They love running backs as well. I could easily see this pick being a running back. I could see it being a linebacker. I could see it easily being best player available. But the way that this board has fallen in this simulation so far, I think there's only one way that I should go. And I think that has to be defensive line. I think that the interior of the defensive line is clearly the weakest spot for the Dallas Cowboys. Don't get me wrong, Osa Odighizuwa and Neville Gallimore are good players, but really behind that, there's absolutely nothing. So they desperately need to get some depth in there and some more talent to stop the run as well. And I think that would be, for me, it's a choice between Bryan Bresee and Kalijah Kancey. But for me, for the Dallas Cowboys, I think I'm going to have to go with Bryan Bresee. I know that this is probably not going to be a very well-liked pick. Bryan Bresee is one of those guys this year that is just hot or cold. Some people love him. Some people think that he's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Some people absolutely despise him and think he's stiff as a board. He's an exceptional athlete for his size. We've seen him perform at a really high level his freshman year. Life gets in the way. He had an ACL tear, which is another reason why I think that he's not going to go as high as some people think he is. In an ACL tear, his sister did pass away. He got sick last season as well. A lot of things have gotten in the way of him just focusing on football. Now, I think he has something to prove in the National Football League, and I think he's going to use that as fuel to his fire. So I'm going to take Bryan Bresee here. I was liking linebackers. Well, Drew Sanders is here. Trenton Simpson is here. But I think Bryan Bresee fits more of a need right away, and he's probably the best player on the board at a position of need. So I'm going to go with Bryan Bresee with the first pick at 26. Then at pick number 58 for the Dallas Cowboys, this is where it starts to get even more funky because the Dallas Cowboys are in just a weird spot where I feel like they could take best player available every single pick and just be in a good spot. So we kind of got the biggest, most glaring need out of the way with Bryan Bresee. I think this is where you kind of look at the board and you say, where can I add talent to a strength? And there's one player that's sticking out to me here at 58 that I think would be an amazing addition to the Cowboys secondary. And for me, that's DJ Turner. I think that first off, a 97 overall athleticism score at the combine, was second among cornerbacks. I'm not even sure. I don't even remember who was first, but that is incredible. I think it might have been Emmanuel Forbes, but I could definitely be wrong about that. But DJ Turner sitting here at 58, 5'11", 178 pounds, 4.26 speed. This is someone that a lot of people think could be really, really good in a year or two. And I feel like that's the perfect situation for the Dallas Cowboys because you got this guy that you can mold into anything you want. And when you have Stephon Gilmore on one side and Trayvon Diggs on the other, that is two incredible guys that DJ Turner can learn from and mold his game into, because Stephon Gilmore seems like more of a one-year rental than anything. So if he could kind of, play in the slot, maybe get some snaps here and there and just learn and just gather all that information behind those two guys, I think he'll turn into an excellent cornerback down the road. So I'm going to take DJ Turner here at number 58. Then at number 90, I'm going with another player that was super impressive at the Combine. And I know this definitely, or a lot of people are going to argue this is not a position of need, but after losing Dalton Schultz, you're stuck with Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot as your first and second tight ends. Don't get me wrong, they both played pretty well in their roles last year, but that was also because they had Dalton Schultz as the first tight end, as the number one receiving option as well. I mean, can Jake Ferguson turn into a featured tight end? I don't really think that's something that the Dallas Cowboys want to exactly find out. I think they want to go out and they want to get someone that will replace Dalton Schultz. And for me, that's Tucker Kraft. I think that even though he's listed as the 69th best prospect here, I think it's a very real possibility due to the depth of this tight end class that he could well be here at 90. And if he's here at 90, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys hesitate on getting someone like Kraft. He's an incredible athlete. He had a kick-ass combine. I know a lot of people might say, he's from an FCS team at South Dakota State, but the measurables are there, the athleticism is there, and the numbers are there as well. So I think if he's here at 90, you kind of have to take him almost kind of like a best player on the board scenario, a position of maybe not as much need, but still somewhat need. So I'm going to take Tucker Kraft here at 90. Then with the Cowboys' next pick at 129, perhaps they don't wait this long to address the running back situation. But like I said, it all depends on kind of how the board falls. I would think that the Dallas Cowboys, despite how good I think Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs are going to be at the NFL level, even Zach Charbonnet, if those guys are gone, I'm still on the fence on if Jahmyr Gibbs is truly a first-round talent at running back, and I'm pretty convinced that Zach Charbonnet is not a first-round talent. Early second round, mid-second round, sure. We all know that Bijan Robinson is a top 10 talent, maybe even top 5 talent in this entire draft class. I don't see the Dallas Cowboys trading up to get Bijan Robinson. I think that would be crazy to trade up for a running back in today's NFL. If he falls there, sure, he should definitely be the first pick that the Dallas Cowboys take. I don't really see it happening, though. I think if they wait, this is another super deep class. The running back class is a lot deeper than people think. And there's someone here at pick number 129. I mean, this isn't realistic having all these guys here. Tajay Spears is going to go way before this. So is Sean Tucker, Kenny McIntosh as well. I'm taking Dwayne McBride. I really like Dwayne McBride. 5'11", 210 pounds. He really, really knows how to finish runs as well. He's super physical. He's pretty fast too. He runs in the low 4.5s. I know that that's something that you don't really want from a running back, I guess, but he's more of a power style. We're getting one more year of Tony Pollard. He's not going to be ready for the start of the season. This is someone that could take over and thrive with the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. He loves to run in between the tackles as well. He could truly take over for the Ezekiel Elliott role last year and be a perfect complement to Tony Pollard when he comes back, and then eventually take over the starting role. I think that McBride isn't getting enough hype as a solid starter in the NFL. And if you can get an NFL running back, a starting NFL running back at pick number 129, I think you take that. And I think that that's exactly what the Cowboys get here at 129 with Dwayne McBride. When you're getting into the 160s, the 170s, this is where you start looking for high-end backups and really more depth fillers and project guys that could be, sleeper starters at some point in their NFL career. And this is where you got to look at the offensive line if you are the Dallas Cowboys. When healthy, and the way that it looks like they're going to line up, it looks like you're going to have Tyron Smith, you're going to have Tyler Smith, you're going to have Tyler Biadasz, you're going to have, a lot of name repeaters here. You're going to have Zach Martin, and you're going to have Terrence Steele as your offensive line. But behind that, you're really looking at some not so great depth. The depth behind the guards is razor thin. Good depth at center, but the guards razor thin. So I think if Jared Patterson, I don't really know if Jared Patterson would be here on draft day, but we've seen stranger things in years past. I think this would be a great shot to take someone like this. This is a guy that was considered a mid-round pick last year, went back to school, kind of sort of had the same type of draft value, didn't really up his stock, didn't really lower his stock either. So if he's here at 169, I think this is a guy that you could develop as a possible high-level guard at some point in his career, and he'll be a super solid backup. So I'm going to take Jared Patterson here at 169. Kind of same deal at 212 here as with 169. I think that it would be wise to go back to the offensive line and get another super solid backup. Warren McLendon was another guy last year that didn't give up a sack on that Georgia offensive line. I mean, he's awesome, but we don't know if his game will translate to the NFL level. But at this point in round 6, you're looking for someone who is going to be a really good backup. So I think McLendon will be one of those project guys, but it'll be another solid backup. They have Matt Waletzko as well to back up. I'm drawing a blank on another backup that they have, but they don't really have the greatest depth at the tackle position. As we all know, we know that Tyron Smith, at this point in his career, he does get injured. That would lead Tyler Smith to slide out to probably play left tackle if he's gone, and then Terrence Steele, as I mentioned before, would be on the right side. So that leaves another hole as well. So you got to be able to have guys that you could plug and play and be confident in starting. So I like Warren McLendon here, like I said, part of that offensive line that barely gave up any sacks over his time in Georgia. So you got to be pretty decent if you're not giving up any sacks in the SEC. So I'm going to go with Warren McLendon here at 212. And then with the last pick at pick number 244, again, the Dallas Cowboys are an interesting team where they don't really have any glaring holes in their starting lineup, but their depth really comes into question. So I feel like a lot of this draft has been mostly depth pieces, and I feel like that's kind of okay. The Dallas Cowboys are always going to perform in the regular season. But the linebacking position, I think Damon Clark and I think Jabril Cox are going to take huge steps this year. They're going to slide into more prominent roles, but they still need backups here. I like D. Winters here out of TCU, a little bit undersized for the linebacker position, 5'11", 227. Kind of reminds me of a throwback of Gary Brackett, was another guy. He was like 5'10", like 225 pounds. He was not big at all, but he was a tackling machine, and he was awesome. I think that D. Winters is a guy that slept on because of his size, but he's pretty impressive. He's a tackling machine at TCU. He put up some pretty decent numbers. I think he'd be a really nice find here at pick number 244. You're looking for those diamonds in the rough here at this point in the 7th round. I think that's exactly what D. Winters could be. And just like that, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is my full 7-round 2023 Dallas Cowboys mock draft. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.